Hi Gemini, how are you? How's it going? I'm Eriu and this is Eriu Tarot Readings, and as always my darlings, you're very, very welcome here to your bi-weekly reading for July the 17th to July the 30th, 2017. So I hope you're all really well. Hope life has been treating you pretty good. I really do. Also remember, if this doesn't resonate, do check out your moon and your rising signs as well. Those videos will be up for you, so check that out. And if you're not sure what your sign is in your moon or your rising sign, do check out the link below that I provide. It takes 2 minutes to figure it out. Figure out what your moon and your rising sign is, and then you can watch the videos, and it's all good, homie. So yes, my darlings, here's the thing. I don't know about you, but I get a bit bored doing the same spreads, right? I get that the general love bi-weeklies actually have been resonating with you all quite well, but I think we need to switch it up a bit. Do you? Just a little break, right? And so I want to do one that I feel represents the individual and the journey, because that, for me, that's what fuels me, is the individual, is the person, and your very unique journey that you're on at the moment, and always on, actually. You never leave. So I'm doing a reading. It's a 7-card spread, and it's called Who Am I Now and Where Am I Going? And I think this is kind of appropriate for July, really, because look, we're more than halfway through the year, and where did 2017 go? I don't know. But what I do know is it's time for reflection, just to look back and see where it's gone, how we've been doing, how we're doing, and then how the next, be ready for the next 6 months ahead, right? I think that's fair. I think so. Alright, my darlings. I think one more, yeah. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. You're very welcome. Lovely to have you here. And if you haven't done so already, get yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, something stronger, some food, sit down and relax. We're going to have a look at how your next 2 weeks is going to go for you. Now obviously these cards have specific positions, so I will talk through all this with you, alright? And if we need to clarify, we will. Okay. So what I normally do is, if you see my previous bi-weeklies, I like to just flip them all over really quick and get the energy off them immediately. But with this, because it's such specific placements, I like to just kind of take my time, like it unfold one after the other, So that's what we're going to do, alright? And obviously, as I said, I'm going to talk through everything with you. Alright, Geminis, let's see you. Let's go for your new Who Am I and Where Am I Going reading. Okay, so we're going to start at the very heart of the reading, right? 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. The very first card here is at the heart of the reading. This is who you are now, alright? So let's check it out, Gemini. Who are you now? Ooh, okay, nice. So who you are now is actually a major arcana. Lovely. Well, you're represented by this major arcana. You've got the Strength card here. And the Strength card is really, it's such a gorgeous card for many reasons. I love all the signs and I love all the elements, but I guess I lean a bit towards others more so than other ones. This is a fire energy. This is Leo or Sagittarius, but for me it's like straight up Leo. And not only that, it's because visually as well we've got the line here that represents Leo. So we have all those beautiful attributes of Leo. We've got strength, we've got courage, we've got love, we've got lust, compassion, passion, creativity, and in many cases responsibility as well. And what's really nice about this is that this card holds all those things. But more importantly, it's elevated again. It's stronger in itself because it's a major arcana. So what we have here is someone who's able to tame the beast, and yet at the same time the beast is willing to be tamed. What we have is a very masculine and feminine energy that intertwine and flow between the two. Now this for me is also a yin-yang card, alright? We've got the light and the dark. We've got the chiaroscuro, okay? It's beautiful that way. And there's an infinity between them, and but more importantly, there's a fluidity between them, and there's a respect between them as well. So I feel, Gemini, if some of you don't know this just yet, or aren't really feeling this, it's coming for you. This energy is coming for you. And I feel like it's because there's a new day coming for a lot of you. And if you don't feel it now, you will feel it over the next 2 weeks. It's very important for you to know that you have more strength than you realize, that you are stronger than you realize, and also that you govern yourself you conduct yourself in a very inner knowledgeable way, that you know yourself quite well, and that you can take care of yourself quite well, and therefore when you go out to the world, that's seen by other people. But I think I have to reiterate it to you. You're so much stronger than you know, Gemini. And if this card doesn't tell you, then I don't know what will. This is who you are now. And your ability to understand both your feminine and masculine energies, how they intertwine and how they come up in certain scenarios is very, very strong. So gorgeous. Like, this is really beautiful. This is really great to have for who you are now. And as I always say, even though this isn't your element, even though we don't have even the lovers who represent Gemini coming up here from the major arcana, that's okay. Because we can dip into other elements and we can experience their energy too. And I think that's what you're doing, but more so you're kind of living in this very fiery, passionate energy. And why not? Like, why not tap into that? What is so wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. It's gorgeous. It's a great energy. So nice one, Gemini. You're doing well so far, right? Now, this is the second card here. This is what you don't know about yourself. So, Gemini, what do you not know about yourself? Let's see. Well, okay. Again, you're stronger than you know. So for me, the Queen of Swords actually represents Libra. But obviously, because it's an air sign, you're thrown in there too. You know, Libra and Aquarius are the brother and sister sign of you. And this is actually, like, the page for me is Gemini. Page of Swords is Gemini. Queen of Swords is Libra for me. And then King of Swords is normally Aquarius. So what you don't know about yourself, Gemini, is your ability to effectively articulate yourself and to come across in a certain way that delivers your message without actually hurting anyone. Now, the Queen of Swords, does she have the ability to hurt people with her sword? Yes. In other decks, she holds up a head and she's got her sword in one hand. Like, that's how verbally, that's what I'm struggling to be right now, verbally articulate she is. She understands that the tongue is like the sword and you can cut people down by what you say. She's also known as the Widow card, and she is known as that because all the information that she holds, all the wisdom and intellect she holds about this particular suit was not given to her like the other queens. This queen had to work her ass off for it, right? As all queens do. And she had to obtain that sword through experience, and it wasn't easy. And it's not something that I'd say she'd like to go back and do again. She had a lot of life experience that brought her to this point. And so she's so knowledgeable and full of wisdom and intellect, and she's so cerebral that at times she may appear as that she knows more than other people. And again, kind of way she does though. And that's why she's so elevated. That's why she's so up in the clouds as well. Is because she has all this inner intellect. She looks at the world in a different way to others. And so therefore she almost detaches herself away from planet Earth. I know that sounds a bit weird, right? But it's true, look. She's up here. She's actually above the clouds. And everyone else is down here. Everyone else. So there is a detachment with this card. So what I'd say to you is, Gemini, even though you got this energy yourself, try not to detach yourself so much from people. Rather than say, oh, for God's sake, they don't even know how to do this, I can't deal with this. Say, flip it on its head and say, all right, maybe they don't know how to do this. Maybe people are not knowledgeable in this area like I am. Right, I got to teach them then. I can show them. I can show them. And therefore, you're helping people elevate as well. But also what I want to say is try not to be on your own too much. Try not to be on your own too much. Because as well, you can kind of get lost in your thoughts here. And what happens with air signs is that you need to be pulled out of your thoughts every now and again, don't you? Like, you really do. You get stuck in your head. I know, I'm a Libra with Gemini rising. I have conversations in my head all the time. Stuck in my head all the time. And it's so easy to do. So just be aware of that. But two very strong cards. Hey, this is nice, Gemini. This is very nice. Now your third card up here. This is what you need to relinquish. This is what you need to get rid of and say goodbye to. Now, what I'm finding with a trend in this particular bi-weekly readings is that all good cards are coming up here. And I'm like, guys, tarot, you're just playing around with me now. Well, let's see. This is what you need to get rid of. You need to cut the cord on, okay? Okay. Six of Swords, right. So more sword energy again. So I feel like a lot of you are stuck in your head. A lot of you are stuck in your thoughts, and things and scenarios are kind of running around a bit. You're questioning and questioning. You're analysing, and you're doing your pros and cons. You're making sure. And then you realise, I don't have the answer, and then you go back into your head again searching for the answer. Now Six of Swords is about movement. It's about traveling. It's moving through the water. Sometimes it's about moving from a turbulent situation into calmer waters as well, which is something that you kind of need to consider. What I'll say to you is there is a certain amount of, as I said, detachment, especially that you've got these two cards together. I feel a lot of you feel very alone lately and feel like that you're very much on your own, which you're not though, Gemini. It's just what you're going through at the moment, and your mental processes is detaching you from things, okay? But I get that you also want to go out. You know what, let's just do a quick clarify, because what are you guys moving away from? You're moving away from something. And it's almost like as well you just don't want to face it. What do you not want to face, Gemini? 2, please. Okay. Okay. Alright, it's a bit of heavy stuff going on for you here, Gemini, isn't there? Some heavy things going on for you. Alright, so you've got the 2 of Swords and you've got the Devil. You got more Swords energy. My God, right? Everywhere. Everywhere in the spread so far. And what you're trying to move away from is a toxic relationship with someone, or it could even be business endeavors, or it could be even domestic life, okay? It doesn't need to be love. But I'm feeling like it is, because some of you with a Capricorn, some of you with a Cancer, Scorpio, a Taurus, possibly a Libra or a Sag. And if for you guys, what you need to relinquish, what you need to get rid of, more importantly, what you kind of need to tackle at the moment is making this decision. And this decision is about whether or not you stay around this person or stay involved with this person. Now, the Devil is a major arcana. He comes in here hard and fast. He is a very strong energy in a negative way. And the Devil represents many different things. It represents obsession, possession, abuse in some way. Can be domestic, can be verbal, can be emotional, can be physical. Can also be substance abuse as well. So we're looking at people that have drinking problems, people that may be addicted to drugs, all those sort of things. All those things that make life really hard for people. It's also about somebody that is stuck doing the exact same thing again, repeating the same pattern over and over again in the hopes that the outcome will be different. Spinning around on our heads pretty much. But for a lot of you, because this is the opposite of the Gemini, the Lover's card, I feel like this is love for you. And you guys are having to really go emotionally deep to figure out whether or not you want to stay in this scenario, or whether or not you want to go. I want you to really see things for how they are, because you're getting yourself a little bit stuck here, Gemini. You're leaving the blindfold on. You're leaving the blindfold on here. I mean, you've got to be careful when you're swinging those swords around. And not only that, you're shackled up here. But these are things that you can do yourself, that you can actually get rid of. Because their hands aren't shackled. They can easily open this up and let it go. But sometimes it's that phrase, the devil you know is better than the devil that you don't know. Not in this case though. I think this is more fear as well for a lot of you, that you just don't want to move away from this because it will be something different and it's a new chapter. And as well, for sometimes it means starting again, and starting again can be hard, you know, it can be hard, but can be good for us as well. It can be very character building. But these cards are really saying to you, Gemini, you got to make that decision soon. You got to make it fast, because this is not good for you. And also, it may not be good for the other person in it. Sometimes there can be two really great people that get along really well, but when we put them in a romantic scenario, something happens. They evoke different things in one another, and it can be good, great, and it can be bad. And if we're leaning more so on the bad here with the Devil card, this is something you got to consider. I kind of want to say to you to come out of your head again. Check in with your emotions and say, realistically, can I do this for the next however long? 2 months, 2 years, 6 months, 6 years. Can I do this? Do I want this for myself? These cards are saying you got to make a decision, and soon. But also they're saying that you got to move with your thoughts. You got to move with your words. You kind of got to you have to say those words. You have to say those words, whatever they are to you. You got to say them. And more importantly, when you do that, you release yourself from this. Will it be easy? No. He does not make it difficult. Or easy. He does not want it to be easy for you. He wants to make it difficult. But that's where you grow. But again, when you feel like this in this energy, know that you got this on your side. Gemini, you are stronger than you know. I need to tell this. I need to say this again. I feel very like I need to point the finger and tell you. You are much stronger than you realize. Now your fourth card here is what you need to develop. Let's see. Okay. So I said that you were really in your head, right? And I said to get into your emotions. Well, this is kind of pushing that point a little bit more for me. You've got Major Arcana, the Moon card. Beautiful, right? Governed by Scorpio and sometimes Pisces for me. This is about turning inwards and looking at those darker sides of ourselves that we don't always look at, that we don't always acknowledge. It's the moon. It's the things. Things are sometimes illuminated by the moon. I always use the imagery of, you know, when you're going to bed and some people close the door completely and just sleep in the dark, and others, like me, leave a crack in the door because I just like a little sliver of light, you know, and that sliver of light is thrown over certain objects and things in the room that you can see, but you can't see them in their entirety. So really there's a certain amount of deceit in that. It's like, yes, I can see stuff, but I can't see it as much as if the sun were shining in the room. You could see everything in accuracy. This isn't about deceit for you though, Gemini. This is actually about you turning inwards and really questioning whether or not emotionally you can handle this. Whether or not emotionally you want this. I feel like for a lot of you this is very, very tough. I feel like a lot of you have had trust issues, a lot of you have had loyalty issues as well. And honestly just getting respect and being respected. It's time for you to turn inward and look at those darker sides of you that you know are more difficult to deal with. Because when you do, like, it's not an easy road. See, look, sometimes it gets darker and darker before we can be illuminated by the moon. Before we have our own small inner revelations about ourselves. And so this is kind of what you need to do. You need to go deep emotionally. And you need to feel. I keep saying, get out of your head. You need to feel, I need to look at those sides of yourself that we don't like to acknowledge. And I hope I don't seem preachy in this at all. I can speak from experience that I know I've done this a lot with the moon card, and it's not easy. It's not easy recognizing yourself in those ways. And I guess because we're in a world where everything has to be positive, positive, positive all the time, that if you even deem somewhat negative for a split second, people are like, oh, I can't be around that. You know, it's not good. This can also be attached to depression. So some of you, I want you to just be very careful of that. And if you are aware of it, take extra care of yourself. But it's that inward turning that you need to do to look at those darker sides of ourselves. Or I don't even want to say darker, because there's no good or bad. Just our shadow side. The bit that we don't want people to know that we have. And we keep those things to ourselves, right? Just be aware of that. Now your last three cards, I actually like to flip these over all together, right? Because I'm like, this is fun. So 5, 6 and 7 here. So let's go. Da-da-da-da. Ooh. Right, so you have some seriously strong major arcanas. And funny enough, they're balancing themselves out as well. Because you've got the devil and the moon, quite harsh, if you want to say negative energies. And then we've got the strength and the emperor, which are quite strong positive energies, right? So let's have a look at this. So this is your 5th position, what you'd love to become. So it's the Page of Wands. So I kind of feel like some of you just want to be in love with love again. Or some of you want to learn what love is again. This scenario has, I think we all know by now this is a love reading, right? This scenario by now has stunted your ability to love or to grow in love. Because you're so cerebral. Sorry, just one second. I feel for a lot of you, you've been really codependent. And I feel like this is why as well, the reasons why you got involved with this person. is because you couldn't be on your own, and that this is actually petrifying to you. I feel a high level of codependency. Very high level. And as well, because you're so, do you know why this comes up as well? It's because you're so in your head that your ability to actually properly develop your love and how you show love to people has, like, it's been stunted. It's been really stunted. The Page of Wands comes in here as a Leo, Aries and Sagittarius, but I feel this is just more so you. And obviously it is, because it's what you'd love to become. So I feel like it's you wanting to become a little bit more in touch with your own emotions, and to kind of start again and be like, not only do I want to give love, I kind of want to learn to love myself again. I feel, do you know, I feel like you just got a bit lost, Gemini. You just got a little bit lost here. But it's because of all this up here. And you feel like it's just so like a wandering soul to me. You really do. What you'd love to become is someone who's a little bit more, without ego, in love with themselves. I mean, like, I want to wake up and not feel like I have to emotionally depend on someone that way. And what I like about it though as well, Gemini, is that you're quite open to this now. I think this experience has carried a lot of weight for you, but you're quite open to it now because you're the Page here. So you're wanting to learn again, which is nice. This is also known as kind of like, this is a phallic symbol. And when the Page comes in, it's somebody who really, bless them, doesn't know what they're doing in love and sex. So some of you may also feel that way. Be like, I haven't got a clue now how all this works. More importantly, how do you even date anymore? I don't even know. How does this work? What do I, like, he's literally like, how does this work? I don't know. I know I have it. I know I have the ability to do it, but how does it all work? What I want to say is, like, don't worry about this too much. This will come in time. I think there's it's a lot of deeper stuff that you need to sort out first before you even need to get here. So sort that first. Sort all these energies out first, and then go, okay, I'll begin again. And I will learn to love myself first and foremost. And then I'll go into a relationship. Maybe. Or maybe not. But it's nice that you have that there. It feels like, despite all this sword energy and whatnot, you still, you know, your fires are still burning, and that's also contributing to this. Or coming from this, I want to say. And then you're going to finally start to recognize how strong you are. Now, your 6th position is your current quest, right? So a lot of you are severing ties with this particular person, or as I said, could be someone in business or domestic life. Doesn't matter. Any area of your life. I feel more so this is love though. I really do. And your current quest is the 5 of Swords. We've got more swords here, darlings. Either you're going to get cut or you are doing the cutting. Because the 5 of Swords is here, I'd say you guys are doing the cutting. I really do. What I want to say to you is be very careful of your words, how you say things. How you say things, it's so important. It's so important. Gemini, you have an ability with words, and you can just cut people down. All the air signs too. But I think Gemini's a little bit more free with the tongue, you know? And I think that's kind of gets you in trouble sometimes. And your current quest is, well, you're at a crossroads. Do I want to stay here or do I want to move forward? I think for you, growth-wise, I think moving forward is the best thing. Be it alone. I feel like it's more so alone for a lot of you. But don't just, I feel like I need to say, like, just don't cut people off too quick or burn the bridges, or like really sit down and talk with this person about what's going on and what needs to be done, and just get back to a human level and forget about agendas or what happened in the past or what was said, like where you are now. And I think that will translate much better for you than this, because you're winning the war, but like at what cost? People are going back here and they're saying, all right, you know what, you win, you get what you want. And sometimes getting what we want isn't actually what we need at all, really, is it? But there's strength in this as well. And I say that because the 7th position here is where it will lead you to. So this severance that you have, just make sure as well, I just want to say that you don't have any regrets. You say what you need to say and leave it at that. you know, and then just move on from it. You're kind of looking back, you're kind of feeling a bit guilty, and you're kind of thinking, should I actually go back there? Should I? Well, damage has been done. So, but where will this lead you? Well, it will lead you to the Emperor here. Gorgeous. This is a major arcana again. So you see how I get that you feel very back and forth lately, Gemini. The twins, there's one twin going south, the other twin is going north, and you're just being pulled. You're pulling each other left, right and centre. But at the end of all this quite traumatic experience and severance is the Emperor, which, as I said, is a major arcana, ruled by Aries, ruled by Mars. Very, very strong. Very, very strong energy. The Emperor is someone who has been there, done that, sold the t-shirt, opened the company to sell the t-shirts, and then sold off the company for a cool 5 billion. That's what the Emperor is. He has seen it all. He has done it all. And believe me, he has his own war wounds. He really does. And in many ways, he never stops being a fighter in some form. It's even physically, yes. Emotionally, yes. See, he still holds the armour. He still wears the armour under this beautiful kind of ornate cloak or robe that he wears. He doesn't have a lot of the frills like the King of Pentacles does. He doesn't want to show himself off a bit. No, he's not into that. All he knows is that he rules and he can rule well. And he takes on the responsibility, and he has done so. But he sits here above all the kings and the queens because his life experience has taught him so much more than theirs. And even just how he looks. Look at how he looks. This king as well, yes, he can be quite belligerent. But realistically, he observes and he watches. Because he knows. He doesn't need to go in all guns blazing. He knows. Not only that, he's extremely disciplined, and he gets stuff done without being very arrogant or loud or brash. Quietly, calmly, confident, assertive and direct, and will not also put up with any bullshit. And this is where this is all leading you to, Gemini. Major growth for you here. Well, please don't turn your back on it. Please don't keep looking in the past, because you have this coming for you. You have these major fire signs coming up for you. Leo, Sag, Aries. But Aries rules. And not only that, it's the first sign of the zodiac. So they put themselves first and foremost into things. And if something doesn't feel right or work right for them, they don't do it. So this is also saying to me that, Gemini, you got to take care of yourself in the future. But also that you can. Once you have this guy on your side, you can. It's not a problem. Go through all this, come out like this. There's a lot of battles that need to be fought, I think, Gemini. And also I think it's a lot within yourself. But it's not to say that you can't do them. It will feel horrible, it will feel difficult, but it's not to say that you can't do them and that you won't come out the other side, because you will. These 2 weeks will be a very trying period for you. So breathe. In the midst of it all, go back to your own sign in the element and know that all you need to do in that moment is breathe. Okay? Alright, my darlings, this has been your July 17th, July 30th, 2017 reading. If you dig what I do, please like and leave a comment and subscribe and share. You know, don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. Remember, I do general and love readings as well. If you'd like guidance in either one or both, I'm your gal. My email address is below. You can contact me directly through my email, and I will email you back as soon as I can with my service list and my prices as well. And remember, this is your Tuatha, this is your tribe. If you're going through something, write it in the comment box. We're a family here. We take care of each other here. So look, know that we're all here for you as well, alright? You take care of yourself for the next 2 weeks. Keep focused and breathe. That's all you need to do, is breathe in the moment, alright? Darlings, many blessings to you. I will see you in the following 2 weeks, okay? You take care of yourself, Gemini. Bye-bye.